Hi everyone, it's me, Teresa. Today we're in my kitchen and we're going to talk all about how I crocheted a customized kitchen mat. And I'm going to show you how you can make your very own as well. So let's put down our tea and get into it. Okay, so you know how you know when you're really a crafter or crocheter or knitter or sewer is when you have a problem and then you go to research it and you go, oh, I could make that. So I have been having a problem with all during the summer with the grandchild and with other things, just sink water getting up here and no one noticing and wiping it down. And so it was becoming to be an issue, and I'm not a very good housekeeper, so I've been very nervous to show you guys my kitchen anyway. But so I thought, okay, let me just see what kind of things there are on Pinterest, or like, you know, Amazon is my first go-to, like, and I was just like, you know, sink mat, a faucet mat. Anyway, I saw all these things and I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, that's easy. Oh, I could make that. And then I got to looking closer at my sink and noticed that it's a custom shape. So it's not, all of those were like a really nice rectangle with a little cutout to go around your faucet. And I was like, okay, that isn't gonna work because one side of my sink is wider than the other. And so I was like, okay, Teresa, you can crochet this. And so I just went at it. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through my steps. First, I'll show you, oh, it's real easy to take off and take on. And you just throw it in the washer. It's just, you know, it's just very basic. When I make another one, which I am going to, this is more fall colors. I'm going to make one for Christmas. I think I'm probably going to throw in some fun stitches from one of my favorite washcloths. And so I'll post some pictures when I do that. But so it doesn't have to be very, you know, basic, like mine's just very basic, but it does the job. I think it looks pretty. And so I'll just kind of walk you through my steps of what I did and how I come up with this. So the materials you're going to need are paper towels, cotton, 100% cotton. You're going to need your hook that is the recommended size for your cotton, for the yarn that you use. Stitch markers will definitely come in handy, and I use them. Your scissors, of course, for cutting yarn, and your yarn needle for those pesky little ends that we have to take care of, and a pin. Okay, so here's what I did. I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. I took my paper towels and I laid them out the length of my sink that I thought, okay, this is pretty much how long and what I want. And so then I tore them off, and then I took my paper towels and I folded them over so that the folded over edge was facing me. And then I took this, and what you're going to do is make a template of your sink. Now, if you have just, you know, they're the same size on both sides, you can obviously just get your tape measure, measure it the length, measure the width, and start crocheting along with how I'm going to show you to go around the faucet. So, but if you're like me, you got this customizable. So I take my paper towels and I just sort of laid it up against where I thought I wanted it to go. And so I just kind of laid it up there like this, and gave it a little bit of the impression of where the faucet and the size of the faucet is. So I just kind of pushed it around it, and then I took that and I just drew sort of where the impressions are. You can't see what I'm doing. I just did sort of like a little, there we go, like that. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is just your template. And so then I took my scissors and I cut out the faucet hole, which this one is really large because I'm, you know, talking and doing it. But anyway, so then I take it back and I was like, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, that's So then, once you have your faucet, you're tracing around where your faucet is, you take your paper towel and you kind of mold it to your counter. You just want to, this is what I did. I'm just going to tell you what I did, okay? You just kind of mash it down over the sink so that it puts the impression of the sink ridge into your paper towel. Then you take your pen and you go along and you just trace that edging. And so, like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect because this is just your template. You're going to bring your project over to your sink as you go back and forth. But I just traced it like this. Okay, so you can see I've just traced. You see that pen mark? Not the greatest trace job I've ever done, but anyway. So then you, once again, you take your scissors and now you're going to cut out that template. You're going to cut out all around that. And I would, I'm doing this now because, you know, I like to walk you through how I do things, but I also accidentally lost my other template. So got to make another new one. That's fine. Anyway, so now you're going to cut all the way. Yours is probably not as, I don't know, yours may not be as large as mine, but anyway, okay, so now I cut it. Then you take your template and you lay it back down and you look at it and you go, yeah, that's, mine's a little wonky right now, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I want. Then I decided, well, I don't want this little end here, and so I just want it to go straight like that. I just wanted it to be a little bit more symmetrical. So you could take your paper towel and just kind of play with it until you get it the dimensions that in the shape that you want. And so what it also showed me was that in the back of my sink, I thought I wouldn't be able to connect it, but I actually have enough room back there to do a whole row of double crochets, which is why I was able to do that. See? So it really gave me a good idea of what I'm working with. And then it was off to crochet and I went. Okay, so for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to work on a small template here to kind of show you the process of what I went through, what the process is. And so the first thing you do is you're going to make a slip knot to attach your yarn to your hook. However you make a slip knot is fine. So you're going to make a slip knot, attach your yarn. Okay, so now you're going to chain almost the length of your template. You don't want to go to the template because once you go back and put your stitches in your chain, it's going to be even longer. So you want to go almost to the length of it. You want to just start chaining, I would say to almost an inch to the length. And so to chain, you're going to yarn over, pull through your loop. Yarn over, pull through the loop. And you're just going to keep doing that and laying it up and measuring it with the size of your template. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so then I just went back with a row of single crochets. I like to do, I chained one more to turn, and the very first one, go up underneath 2 loops with a single crochet to give me a nice foundation edge, which is you yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so you're going to insert into the center. I wrote on myself earlier, sorry. You're going to insert into the center of your chain. Let's see. Insert to the center of your chain. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do a row of single crochets all across your beginning chain. Okay, I'm coming up to my last 2 of my single crochet in my row here. And let me get my last one put in there. Okay, so now you'll see your chain has grown. And so it should be the length that you want. Mine's a little bit longer, but that's okay. That's all right. Now, here's where automatically your customization could come in. So I'm going to say, for the sake of this this little template we're doing here, that's all the room that this will have in the back behind my faucet. And so if you are like me, I'll turn it this way. If you're like me, like mine had more room. So you see I have this. So you could do a row of double crochet. You're going to do that all the way across until you no longer have room behind your faucet, okay? And then, so I'm going to be starting on this. So what you do then is you can take your work and you're going to need 2 stitch markers. And of course I want some contrasting color so I can see them very well. And for me, I needed 3, and I'll explain to you when we get over to the sink why I needed 3. But okay, so you're going to take your stitch markers and your work, and you could use your template if you want, but I found this to be one where I didn't want to depend on my template for this part. So let's head to the sink. So here we are back at the sink. So you're going to take your work, and what I like to do anytime I'm going to take my hook out of my work is I like to bring that loop way up, like make it just obnoxiously big. So I know I can't pull that out and I can easily see it. So you're going to take your work and you're going to lay it behind your sink like this. I want to make sure I'm in frame. Yes, like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take, now I'm making a sample size, so this doesn't really fit. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay it out the length that you want to go. I'm just hoping y'all can see what I'm doing as I'm filming this by myself. But so then you're going to take it and you're going to pinch it where you believe your faucet starts. So I'm going to say it's this stitch right here. You're going to take it and you're going to put a stitch marker in that stitch right there. Well, Teresa has it turned around the right way. In that single crochet, yours might be a double crochet, whatever it is, or you could just do several rows of single crochet until you no longer have room back there. So then you do one side, and then you're going to take it and you put that one side. Let me see if I can do this so that you can see. That's my dimensions. There's one side, and then you're going to put a stitch marker in the other one, and then put it back on your sink, back and forth if you're questioning yourself any. So there's your, okay, we've left the sink. So do you remember how I said you might need 3 stitch markers if you're like mine any? And that is what you want to do is if one side is a different width than the other, you want to mark that end with a stitch marker. So for me, I went and wanted to remember, okay, this side doesn't need to go as wide as that side. So I then went and put a stitch marker at the end of that side of my work. So then I knew this is my skinny side, this is my wider side, and there is the side of for my faucet. Now you can also use your template and see that kind of, I mean, I'm just sort of eyeballing this, but this is pretty good, Teresa. So that you can match it up with your template and do it that way if you want as well. But I like the actually taking your yarn over to your sink and matching it up. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to look, this is what I did, is I looked at my width and I said, oh, I could do several rows of double crochet, you know, but on this one I knew, I can't do as many rows. So I'm just going to start doing and then keep putting it up to my template until I match the width that I wanted. And so for that side, so because you're done here, you're done on this behind here, now you're going to start building up this side, back and forth, back and forth. And what you want to do is every time when you come to your stitch marker, so I did a row, to come to my stitch marker, I turn and go back. And so that's what we're going to be doing now is building up the 2 sides, going back and forth until you have the width that you need. And you could do that with single crochets, you could do that with double crochets, I like double crochets because it gives me some height. And so you're going to put your yarn back in your loop. I like to chain 2. Okay, now I'm going to do a row of double crochets to my stitch marker. And so you just insert just like normal, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to do that right across till you get to your stitch marker. Okay, I'm almost to my stitch marker. See, it's that stitch, so I've got one more to do. So I'm going to do one more double crochet. And that's the great thing about this, you know, it's cotton, and you don't have to worry about it with, you know, collecting moisture. That's what its job is to do. And you don't have to worry about it being too tight. So there will be a little give with it. All right, so then I'm here. So all I'm going to do is chain 2, chain 1, chain 2. I'm going to turn my work like it's a page in the book. And then I'm going to go right back across this row. And so I would just keep doing that. Remember, you're working from the back. And I would just keep doing that until I reached the width of my side. And so you do that, and when you're ready to go around, come back, meet me back. Okay, so as you can see, I've done 3 rows of double crochet on my sampler here today. So I'm going to say that that is the width of my fake faucet that I'm working on, sink that I'm working on. So what you're going to do when you've done one side, you've got the length all the way that you want, you're going to take your scissors, you're going to cut off your yarn, pull it through. Okay? So then you're going to reattach your yarn with a slip knot again. And you're going to come over here, and we're going to start with a standing stitch as if you were already doing double crochets. You're going to come right over here to your end of your yarn. Now remember, you could do this in a beautiful washcloth texture stitch if you want to. You'll just have to know what your multiple is for each side, so that whatever stitches you took out didn't mess with your multiple. So that's the only way to do, you know, a different stitch configuration for each size, is to make sure you have your multiple still on each side of it. So we're just doing double crochets. That's why I preferred to do that. So I gotta flip my work around. I got it all twisted. Okay. Now also, the reason I have a stitch marker on this side is because this is my skinnier side. And so then for purposes of this, I'm going to pretend like this is just the same shape as that. But how you connect and how you do it is all exactly the same, even if both sides of your sink is exactly the same size. So you're going to do exactly what you did before. Is you're going to put double crochets and turn. When you get to your stitch marker, go back and forth till you reach the width of your counter. And for this sake of this one, I'm going to do it exactly the same as this one. So I'm going to do 3 rows of double crochet, and then I'll meet you back and show you how to connect. No matter, the connection is the same, no matter if it is the same width or shorter. Okay? So go ahead and do your second side. I'll start. Okay, so in this, you want to be going in the direction that you are crocheting. If you are not, and you've done your rows, say 4 or 6 or whatever, and you are facing this way, that's fine. Just do another row of single crochet until you come back to where your stitch marker is. So now what you're going to do, once you've done that, you're here, ready for your next stitch. Then you've got your correct width on both sides. You're going to come down here and you're going to count how many stitches from this stitch marker to this stitch marker. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 stitches that you skipped from here. So now you're going to chain that number, whatever that number is. So I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I'm going to come right over here to my opposite side, and I'm going to go right up here to my first stitch. See that? First stitch. I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to make a single crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I am attached. See? So we're going to do a single crochet now all the way across this edge. And when we get to this last stitch, come back because we're going to start doing something different. All right, so I'm coming up on these last 2 stitches here, putting in my single crochets. All right, so now I'm coming up my last one. This is my edge right here. I'm going to go up into that. It's a little bit difficult to get into, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to chain 2 and put another single crochet in that same stitch. And all I'm doing is make it a corner. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get through there. So I'm just making a little corner. Single crochet always puts a really nice edging on stuff. And something else I want to tell you, that no matter your shape, you see how mine is really a different shape there. This still works. It still comes out really nice and fits around it real good. So don't worry about that. So what you're going to do now, you've just made a little corner, is we're going to just put a little row of single crochets right around here till we get to this edge. And so I don't want to stretch it out too much, so I'm just going wherever kind of nicely fits along my row. However many rows you did. See, that's kind of nice. It's not pulling anything. I try to always go up underneath at least 2 if I can. If I have to do it in a space, I will. I'm going to do at least 1 more. 2 for every double crochet there is. And then this last one, see here we are. We're going to make another corner again. So we're going to go into this. Oh, I may have to do it more down in here. And I'm going to lay down my edge along with this so it gets put in there. Okay, so we're going to make a single crochet, chain 2, and make a single crochet again, all in that same stitch. So now we have a corner here, and now we just did a corner there. So now we're going to single crochet right across this, all across this row till you get here. Okay, so we're coming up to my end here with my single crochets, and I'm really glad I did that. I think it's very pretty. I just think it's putting a really pretty edge on that. And if that is too thick at the back, it'll just stand up behind your faucet, and I think that's pretty too. So this row of single crochet is working out good. So we're going to continue. I got 1 here, and then we're going to be here, and now we're going to try to get up underneath 2 if we can. I think there's 2 right there. All right, we're just going to go up underneath that 1, and we're going to create a corner again. So we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet all up underneath that same 1. And then we're going to do a row of single crochet just like we did on the other end across here till we get to this corner. Okay, so now we're back here. And we're going to do a row of single crochets right across here and right here where we started, where we put on our first single crochet on this, we're going to stop.
So you're going to do a single crochet right across here. When you come to your chain, we're going to put single crochets in our chains. So then you want to pick up your yarn, turn it towards you, just like you're working in your beginning chain. You're going to go underneath 2 and put single crochets into each one of those. Pick up 2, and then you're going to go all the way back to your very first one that you did. And I like to just go ahead and do a single crochet. And now you're going to cut off your yarn, pull it through to secure. We're going to take out all of our stitch markers, and we're going to weave in our ends really good, because we know this is something that's going to be thrown into the washer and it's going to get high use. That's just what I did. I just made it come back and put some single crochets in those chains attached, and I was all done and ready to slide it over. So that is how I customized and made my own kitchen sink mat, and how you can as well.
Well, that's it for our crochet tutorial today of our customized kitchen mat. I hope that you have enjoyed our time together, and I hope that you attempt this project and customize it for your own. Let me know if you do. I'd be very curious to know if you had as much issues with going around curves or not, or if yours was just straight. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you try this project. It was a lot of fun. If anything, I hope mostly you gained the confidence to just attempt something, to get out your paper towels, make yourself a template, and try. And so you just, once you know the basics, like the chaining and the single crochet and the double crochet, there's so much you can do. And so I hope this video encourages you to attempt to customize your own kitchen mat. So we have a giveaway, and Jeff did his little scientific whatever it is where they put all the names and enter it in. And so he said the winner is, hang on, you wrote it on a piece of paper for me, and I'm going to have to put on my glasses. Anna Banana. So Miss Anna Banana, if you will, let's see, I'm going to put an email address on here, and if you will email me your mailing address and let me know if you would like your hank of yarn, I can go ahead and ball it up for you if you would like. And so just let me know and we will send that out to you. Congratulations, and thank you all for all your comments, all the subscribers. Y'all mean everything to me, and I appreciate it so much, all the support and the community that we have here, and I'm so excited that it's growing. And if you're not part of the community, I would love to invite you to subscribe to this channel. There's all kinds of stuff coming out, and I'm so excited about it, and we would love to have you along for the journey. So subscribe, like, share, all those great things, and until then, grab you some tea, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.